who's able to join. We're going to give a few minutes, wait for people to hop on here. See who's going to be with us this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. Welcoming everybody on the replay. And while we're waiting, I am going to once more call in all of our beautiful, benevolent angels, team, and guides, asking them to join us in this beautiful sacred space today, to uphold this beautiful sacred space for all those who join live and upon the replay, and channel healing energy and light codes to everybody who wishes to receive. All you have to do to receive is set that intention. Decreeing that only the highest vibrational energies and messages are able to enter this space. Asking that we are delivered all the clarity, all the guidance that we need at this time in order to navigate these energies of April moving into May 2025. Whew. I didn't set this up ahead of time. We are at our typical day and time, so we'll see who ends up hopping on. I'm doing my best here with the consistency of the schedule and everything. Maybe the consistent date might have thrown some people off, but whoever's meant to be here for this particular stream will be here today. Last week, we talked about the general energies of the remainder of April. And I just did a video for the full moon, or the new moon rather, in Taurus. It is such a powerful moon that I keep calling it a full moon because there's so much energy behind it. And I will be putting that out probably later this afternoon or tomorrow. Tomorrow, most likely. I'm a few minutes late getting on here because it was part of the uploading process was going on. So it's intense. It's wild. I am learning so much more about deep space astrology, galactic astrology, these cosmic points, and I'm so excited to be sharing all of that with you all as I learn it. So I incorporated a lot of that into the video for the new moon in Taurus. And like I said, for everyone who didn't catch it last time, I am teaching a class on some of these deep space objects, some of these space anomalies, if you will. So this would include the Great Attractor, the Galactic Center, the Supergalactic Center, the Shapley Attractor, with Synchronicity University. So if somebody is interested in that, go ahead and sign up. There was a link posted in the comments of the last live stream. I'll post a link in the comments of this live stream as well for that. If you sign up before the end of April, it is choose your own tuition rate up to $5. So there's going to be some other awesome teachers as well, people teaching. I know there's a class on retrograde planets. I'm not sure what the rest of the roster is, but I'm going to be talking about those deep space objects, cosmic points, whatever you want to call some of those most mysterious points in astrology. And hold on, guys, I'm going to turn my notifications off here on my phone. There we go. Just to make sure we don't get disturbed, because I hate it when those come through. They're so distracting. Dinah, I am not Jewish. No, not in this particular lifetime. Not to my awareness. Hello, Miranda, by the way. Great to see you. Hello, Tane. Hello, what is that? Adithya, is that how you say that? Hello, Michael. Hello, Amber. I haven't seen Annika, but I have seen a comment get removed. So I'm thinking she might be on here. I'm not really sure. Hello. Oh, I would love to visit Zambia. I would love to visit absolutely everywhere, Pastor Caleb Divine. So I thought today we'd really just kind of pull some cards and have some fun with it, see what messages Spirit had for us regarding the energies. We know what's going on. We know we're working toward that new moon, which is just absolutely wild. We have the culmination of the three oppositions between Mars and Pluto at this point in the Mars-Pluto cycle. That's a big deal. That's part of a grand cross with Black Moon Lilith and the Sun and the Moon for that new moon. We're feeling all the planets getting into alignment for that right now. So if you're feeling some tension right now, that's what you're feeling, is all of those squares kind of closing in, so to speak, as all those planets line up. The moon is going to be the last one to join on the 27th when it comes into connection or conjunction with the sun. But we're feeling that tension. This is, in more mundane terms, this is power plays, power struggles, egos being blown out of control. All right, there's a lot of that egocentric energy. We are in a period for those who are divinely aligned or aligned with the highest octave of this astrology. We're working with the dissolution of the ego, the dismantling of the ego, and not in like a combative way, in the way of harmonizing it with the higher will, with the higher self. And so that's a beautiful process for those who aren't resisting it. For those who are really attached to their ego identity, to their pride, to being right, to winning, right? This is going to be a bit of a frustrating, it's going to be a roller coaster, essentially. We've got a lot of just insanity, a lot of that magnification of the dark and light in a lot of senses. We have Uranus meeting back up with Algol in the sky. That's going to be 2 days. I think today's the 23rd. Somebody let me know if I'm correct about that. So Algol on the 23rd or 25th rather is coming back into exact conjunction, or not Algol. Algol never moves. It's a fixed star. Sorry. Uranus is coming back into conjunction with Algol. That's the conjunction that took place with Mars at this point back in July of last year. So that's happening again. That is connected to losing one's head. It's connected to violence and death and war and all of these intense events. So between that and the Grand Cross with Mars, Pluto, Black Moon, Lilith, Sun and the Moon, which is conjunct a bunch of galactic points, including Lilith being conjunct the Shapley attractor. There's a lot. There's a lot going on. We will probably see a lot developing. We'll see a lot perhaps being revealed. I'd say really between now and the first week or two of May. It's just keep your wits about you. Stay in your corner, stay in your lane, focus on what's coming up with you, how it is that you're being called to heal, how it is that you're personally being called to evolve. And for some of us, part of our lessons in our own soul evolution may come from just like getting out of the way, right? Really learning which battles are worth fighting for and really putting our attention on aligning with our own dharma, with our own soul's path, because there's a lot of powerful energy that is there to facilitate that experience as well. And then as we continue to move through the week, we're going to have, let me get out my chart here, Venus moving back into Aries on, is it the 29th, I believe? Let me get my confirmation here, on the 30th. And then Pluto going retrograde right before the 5-5 portal on the 5th. That's Pluto's first full retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. So that's what we have coming up as we move toward the first week of May. So we're going to be just getting some guidance today. Like, what does Spirit want us to know as we're navigating these energies? Also, I want to know how you guys are feeling, how you guys are experiencing all of this. Sailor Moon. Wait, what is Sailor Moon? Is that a TV show or a cartoon or something? I'm trying to remember. That sounds familiar. Okay, anime. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's an oldie, right? Like, is that from like the 90s, Sailor Moon? That sounds really familiar to me. Interesting. Yeah, I can like picture what Sailor Moon looks like almost. It's like fuzzy, but it's right in the edge of my consciousness, Miranda. That's so funny. Yes, and I did just put, I know I added you to the group, Miranda, and Clear. I did just put the Patreon call for next week is actually going to be on Tuesday afternoon. So hopefully everybody sees that. If not, hopefully they watch this live stream and then they'll hear it firsthand that's when we're meeting next on the Patreon. Hello, Uma. Your body's been hurting. Yeah, that makes sense. Mine has too, but I started working out again. So my body hasn't moved like this in a really long time. So it's getting its bearings. So I think that's what mine's all about. But aches and pains, that's definitely a symptom as we're moving through these energies. All the cellular activations, everything that we're receiving. Spirit wants us to make sure we're really hydrating. Take salt baths. Take salt baths, hydrate, make sure that you're getting all the minerals that you need. Make sure you're getting enough magnesium. Spirit's saying there's something, it's vitamins, yes, but particularly the minerals for some reason. Like I feel it really being highlighted right now by Spirit. Like the necessity of those, it's almost like in order for what's happening on a cellular level to occur, we have to have the support of the minerals. So Spirit's also bringing through like mineralized water, like remineralizing your water. That might be something to look into, just to make sure you're getting enough electrolytes and you're getting enough minerals. And watermelons coming through too, interestingly enough. Yeah. Oh, Amber, you're right on top of it, huh? Fasting, drinking salt water, and magnesium. There you go. Boom. Redmond salt. I've never heard of that one. I do the Celtic sea salt. What's the Redmond salt? I'm gonna have to look into that. A late 420 next week, Michael. What does that mean? Oh. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow, Amber. That's beautiful. I love that. That's powerful, that release, that ancestral work. I think a lot of us have been called to do that to be doing that lately with the ancestral work, the ancestral healing. Yeah. Hello, Bristol. Hello, Dark Bunny. You took a gummy, like a THC gummy? Is that what we're talking about here? Another good mineral salt from Utah. Oh, interesting. Ooh, I like that. All right. Utah, another place I want to visit. I don't think I'll have time during the Sedona retreat to tap out that way. That'll be a separate trip, I think, but I'm really looking forward to going out there. I really want to go to Zion National Park. Yeah, very, very much. And I am going to I'm still working on like creating the page for the Sedona retreat. But in the meantime, I am going to have a link available in the next week or so for anyone who knows they want to go to the retreat in Sedona that wants to sign up early. So we're going to be it's going to be a meetup, and there's also going to be a retreat for the people who want to stay at the Airbnb. And anyone who stays at the Airbnb, there will be some meals included. We'll also be doing different energy activations and different things that Spirit guides us in the evenings. And then during the daytime, we're going to be meeting up with anybody else who wants to connect from this tribe for the daytime sort of wanderings through nature. We're gonna hike into some of the vortexes. We're gonna receive some activations from Mother Earth herself. I'm gonna lead everyone in some guided meditations and just assimilating the energies. And then we'll probably go out and have dinners together or something like that. So it's gonna be really fun. I'm really excited for it. So anybody who wants to know, there's gonna be a sign up for the meetup, and then there's also gonna be a separate, of course, sign up and link for those who want to stay in the retreat and do the full retreat experience with me. So super, super stoked about that for the 999 energies. It is a 9-year. September is also the only month of the year this year where every single day adds up to, I believe it's every single day adds up to the number that it's supposed to be. I gotta get with my friend Tommy. He's like the numerology master here. He understands the significance of that. It's like every number adds up to, if you add up the month, the day, and the year, it breaks down to the number of the day, I think it is. I don't know. He's like a genius when it comes to numerology, and he's figured out things that other people haven't even come up with yet relating to numerology. So I'll get the full details. But however he determined it, it made it September even more magical. So it's going to be such a powerful month. Yeah. All right. So getting back in here, what do we have going on? Look for Sasquatch, Dark Bunny says. Ooh, yes. Yeah. Is Sedona known to be a place where there are a lot of Sasquatch? I wasn't aware. I know there's a lot of extraterrestrial energy. I've been to Sedona once before and I've never seen so many ships in my entire life. So I think we are going to be doing one night of like stargazing together as well and connecting with the ETs, because you can connect with them during the day there, but during the night obviously is the strongest time. I can't believe Andy, who doesn't believe astrology is still around in 2025. Honey, astrology's been around since the beginning of time. Astrology was once taught in schools. All right. Astrology is one of the oldest sciences and one of the most oldest practiced ways of understanding the heavens and the universe. And astrology is only becoming more nuanced as we continue to evolve and awaken. Now we're understanding astrology on a cosmic level, on a galactic level. We're understanding more of these deep space objects, which I was talking about in the beginning. For anyone who missed that about the class that I'm going to be teaching for Synchronicity University on some of these deep space objects, I will link the sign up for that in the description box below. In the comment section as well after this live stream's over. But astrology is alive and well. More and more people are returning to some of these old ways, so to speak, these tried and true methods, which are always and ever evolving as we are, hopefully, right? All right. Yes, let's see here. Oh, you two should totally drive together. That's amazing. I love that. I love that. Oh, yay. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to meet some of you for the first time. There's going to be lots more stuff going on. So anybody who is not able to make it, don't worry. We're going to continue connecting with each other. This is just the first endeavor and I am just in love with Sedona. So I had to make it the first trip here. Plus I feel her energy calling people in. We had talked a little bit about how a lot of people are being called in June. I'm being called in September though. And I felt something with the 3-6-9 energy, right? The 3 having been March, 6 being June, and 9 being September, and that being significant. Let's see. Who else have we got here? Royal Britannia. Okay. Let's see. Hello, Chan. Questionable comment there. We're going to leave that alone. Symbols in the back. Oh, what are we talking about here? Are we talking about the eye in the background here? I'm not sure what you mean by symbols in the back. You're talking about the moon up here, maybe? Hello, Madam Chakra. I don't know if Annika realized that we were having a call today. So she might not have realized we were going back to our normal time. So I'm glad to see that you've arrived. If you want to go ahead and block Andy, we can do that right now. It seems as though he's being disruptive in the chat. So I appreciate you for doing that. I might actually be able to do it as well. Let me see. Remove. Oh, that just removed the message. So yeah, I have to kind of go at this too. Let's see. There we go. I think I got rid of him. Yeah. But yeah, feel free to use your discretion if you see people being disruptive. And thank you. Appreciate you very much. Hello, Nanda. How are you? Hello, Alessandro. Oh, no. Don't worry about it. If you're driving, I got it. Don't worry. That's all right. I don't want you to get distracted. We want everybody to drive safe here. Hello, King Godson. All right, we're going to start pulling some cards. We're working with the Urban Tarot today. We're going to see what messages we're getting regarding the energies currently, regarding whenever people are finding these messages. But we are, of course, tuned into the current flow of energies, moving up to that new moon in Taurus. And then the 5-5 portal. May is such a beautiful time. I mean, I have a birthday in May, so I'm a little bit biased. So does my partner and one of my best friends. So it's a beautiful time of year though, right? Spring, things are in bloom, you know what I mean? Ah, it's a good time to be alive. May, June, July, these are the months, right? Oh, thank you. Thank you. You're very sweet. You're all very sweet. All right, so we have the Mage, which is the Magician, as the first card out here. Or the Mage, however you want to say it. This is really giving the energy of something, working on creating something. And what I'm feeling is like a halt in the creative process, a struggle in the creative processes. Like there's something that someone is being called to bring forth into reality, into manifested form, but they're having some trouble. I don't know if it's trouble conceptualizing it. I don't know if it's it looks like it's the idea itself. This is like the energy of like writer's block. This is the energy of just that stunted creative flow, or feeling as though those creative ideas just aren't coming. And if anybody is feeling this way, I do want to let you know that new moon, we've got Mercury, and after the new moon, even Mercury's trine to the great attractor is going to be even more pronounced. So that is probably going to open up the flow of energies quite a bit, as the great attractor is one of these primary points within the sky. Hi, Annika. I can see that you've arrived because we have some deleted messages. I love you. Oh, good to have you here. It sure is all of the eyebrows, baby. Okay, so we've got the star coming out as well, though. So this is this energy here, all right? If we are feeling puzzled, if we are feeling like we just cannot figure out the right path to take, and feel like that inspiration is not coming through, like there's a breakthrough coming. The next piece of the puzzle is getting ready to be revealed. The answers, right? This is a week where we have that ability to have that breakthrough, but it does require patience, and it does require the ability and the willingness to sit and listen. Because it's like it looks like he's sitting and listening, right? But I feel like he's putting a lot of pressure on himself to receive the answer that he feels like he needs. And so this is a message to release some of that pressure, to relax. It's like to not try to control our creative processes right now. This is also that energy of like, if any of us have been frustrated because we felt like our manifestations just weren't coming through, they're coming. There's like that one piece, that one little breakthrough that's needed. This is reminding me of the reading that I posted for you guys a few days ago. And in that reading, it talked about that one final download, or that one final piece that was needed to complete the puzzle. And how that was like sitting on the edge of the consciousness, or on the edge of the aura, waiting to be integrated. Hello, Ty. Welcome. Sorry, Dark Bunny. There are no secrets here in this collective. So there's that breakthrough is coming. But it's not going to come through force. And that's a lesson, like we said, that a lot of people are learning the hard way right now, because there is so much forceful energy in the heavens at the current moment. Got the Chariot coming out. So this is 3 major arcana here. Yeah, this is the release. This is the activation is what the star card's feeling like here. The activation that leads to the action. To the restoration of momentum. But it's an activation that comes through release and surrender. I'm being guided to the Black Moon Astrology deck right now. So we're going to see what wants to come through from here. Clear. Yes, it is Wednesday. I love it. It is. Dude, I barely know what day it is. I'm so embarrassed. Yesterday, I had an appointment to get my snow tires taken off my car and to get my oil changed. And I completely forgot about the appointment. Didn't even show up, didn't call, nothing. I didn't remember until like 7 o'clock that night when I was getting ready to get in the car to go to the gym. I was like, oh my God. I mean, I've done that before, but it's been a long time. Typically speaking, well, actually, it hasn't been that long. I don't do it all the time though, right? It was really embarrassing. I had to call them this morning and be like, as soon as they answer the phone, of course, this guy doesn't care, right? He just works there. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And he's like, what's going on, ma'am? Like, and we rescheduled it. It's fine. It just, oh my God. I almost shit myself when I realized I was like, okay, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. And I knew yesterday morning when I woke up, I had it within my mind for the first half of the day. And then my son actually went down for a nap. So I had extra time to myself after my person left that takes care of him in the afternoon, so I can, focus on my passion and make videos for you guys and see clients and do all of this stuff. So I was just like in my me time zone, you know what I mean? And just totally out of the mind. Out of the mind. It reminded me of this reel that I saw. This woman did this reel and she was sitting there on a swing set and she was just like, I have some free time right now. I'm pretty sure there's something I'm supposed to be doing that I just forgot, but until I remember, I'm gonna enjoy this moment. That was me yesterday, Yeah. Oh no. Your seed collection, so it got washed away in the rain? Oh, that's terrible. Hello, Fell Sands. Hello, Chattifier. Or Chattifer. Hello, Ploon. Hello, Nick. Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks about your seeds. We're going to be doing a garden here this year. We're going to be growing some veggies. Maybe some fruits. Definitely some vegetables. Yeah, I did. I did relax. And it was all okay. All right. What else do you want us to know about this spirit? This activation with the star. That's what I'm really curious about. It's like, I almost feel like, because remember we talked about how with the full moon in Libra, there was that life purpose activation, the activation of our Dharma. I almost feel like somebody was trying to force something that wasn't fully meant to be. It was meant to be a stepping stone. All right, but it wasn't meant to be the whole shebang. And the reason that they were trying to force this was because they couldn't see the whole picture. There was another gift, spiritual gift, that needed to be activated, and it needed to be activated through a spiritual lesson. And once that spiritual lesson was learned and that spiritual gift was activated, that's what really allowed the momentum to start moving forward. And I feel like that's what's happening now for our collective. Hello, Tess. Well, hopefully those seeds, Amber, are going to go somewhere and they're going to grow wherever it was that they most desire to grow. And they're going to grow beautiful, strong plants, trees, vegetables, fruits, flowers, whatever they were. Hello, Yusuf. Yes, go ahead. Don't forget to hit that like button, you guys. Absolutely. We got the South Node coming up. South Node's currently in Virgo. It's about what we're letting go of, what we're releasing. So this life lesson that's connected to this spiritual gift or ability or this this spiritual calling. It could even be a calling, right? It's old. It's an old lesson. It's old karma that needed to be cleared in order to access this next level. For some, this next level of information. For some, this next level of healing. This next level of your abilities and capabilities. For some, it's just like this next level of your life. 10th house on the bottom of the deck, the world. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I love that. You have like surprise garden popping up all over the place. Hello, Tessa. All right, so what else do we need to know about this old energy? Do we need to know anything about it, or can we just let it go? Can we just naturally release it so we can move forward? Got Mercury retrograde coming out with the Grand Trine. Blessings. And I don't really read these cards reversed. So I'm just like saying that out loud to the cards too, so they hear me, because I'm not going to be doing that with this deck probably. So we're reading this as all positive, right? All upright. But something significant that happened during Mercury retrograde here. All right, so I know I always say one thing and then, you know what I mean? This is why we got to be mutable. We got to be flexible here. I am reading this a little reversed, actually, because this is like the blessings that weren't coming through during the retrograde. And that's because there needed to be a time of revision. You needed to see something from a different perspective. You needed to understand something through a different lens and work through and release whatever this was, this lesson. This lesson really needed to be learned. I want to know what this lesson is. All right, because this lesson is leading to destiny. It's also leading to love, fame, fortune, whatever it is that you are personally desiring. And we're going to use the good old-fashioned tarot here. Clear. What is lesson? Let's talk more about this lesson that needed to be learned. I want to understand. Okay, Spirit's saying we can still pull another card from the Black Moon is going to help with this too. But I want to get some tarot out on this situation too. What is this lesson? All right, we have the Tower coming out. Uranian energy, Mars energy. High Priestess. The lesson was to trust yourself. The lesson was to trust your own intuition. I feel like somebody, and perhaps because of situations from the past, bad choices, people who disguise themselves really well, past traumas, there's a million different reasons for it. You stop trusting yourself. You stop trusting your own intuition. And Spirit's not going to let you get off the hook with that. For some of you, you feel really disconnected from your spirit team right now. You feel like you're asking questions and you're not getting answers or you're not getting responses. That's because you already know the answers within yourself. You're capable of finding all of that within yourself, and you're being asked to go within right now. You're being asked to trust the answer that you already know, to stop second guessing yourself, to stop looking outside of yourself. For some of you guys, it's like situations have blown up in your face, but it's because you knew better and you took a certain action anyway. You entertained certain people, certain situations or scenarios anyway. You went against your intuition, and those situations are going to keep blowing up in your face until you start trusting yourself and acting upon that. That's how we show the universe, ourselves, however we want to look at this and configure it, right? That's how if we want to look at it as a test, right? We could, for lack of a better way of putting this right now, we'll call it a test, right? That's how you pass the test. It's by acting upon your intuition, following that gut feeling, trusting your gut. That's the lesson that needs to be learned here. For somebody watching this too, it's about trusting your dreams, because you actually get a lot of valuable information in your dream state, and it's real. It is authentic. Whatever it is that you are seeing, you're receiving authentic visions. We'll put it that way. Yeah, I mean, what is a positive or a negative message, right, Ty? It really just depends on how we are interpreting the information, whether we're recognizing the opportunity or not. And that could be, oh, I love that you said that, Ty, actually, because I love that with this too, right? That could be the message here. Where is the hidden opportunity in your struggle? Where is it that you're missing the blessing, missing the lesson, right? The lesson and the blessing, they're the same thing. We got the star coming out again. This is the overriding energy of this reading today, and I love that for us, right? Healing, connection, vulnerability, that energy of the spiritual gifts. I'm feeling the energy of a stork too for some reason. And this doesn't necessarily have to be like that somebody's going to have a child, that it could be. But there's just that energy of whatever else the stork represents. I think it's new beginnings in general, right? Anything that can represent babies a lot of times also just simply represents new beginnings. Yeah, I've been writing my dreams down again. And it's really funny sometimes, the dreams that I'm writing down, because I'm teaching that class on the Galactic Center and all of those different points. I have been dreaming a lot about the Galactic Center and the Great Attractor and these different points. But I also have had some more weird dreams mixed in there. I love how weird dreams are. I really, really love it. I love when people tell me their dreams too, even if I'm not in them, but obviously, especially if I am in them. It's just, I find the whole thing so fascinating. It's such an exercise in understanding the human psyche. I would love to be a dream therapist. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I feel like it should be, right? I don't want to hear you talk about your life. I just want to hear you talk about your dreams. Just bring your dreams to me and we'll decode them, right? Like, how fun would that be? Oh, all right. So let's see here. We had the Hanged Man pop out too. So this is a major shift in energy. This is a major shift in a perception here. And this new moon in Taurus, another thing that it is doing, it's really revolutionizing our relationship to money, our relationship to the material world, our relationship to ourselves, to our abundance, to so many of those facets of those Taurian themes and energies, right? We have Uranus, and yes, Uranus conjunct Algol, and we're not going to get into that right now. That's all in the video. But something really interesting that I was doing more reading on Algol before this live stream. It has a prominence in my natal chart too, so I've been really, like, it holds a lot of fascination for me. So another thing about the star Algol is that it represents this sort of, it has a very dark energy, but it has a duality, and also it's a very high spiritual energy. But in order to access that, there's like these trials and tribulations. It's kind of like the hero's journey to get to that higher spiritual energy. So it's really interesting with Uranus conjunct that point now. It's like we're all on our own individual healer's journey. It's interesting I said healers. I meant to say hero's journey, but it is a healer's journey, right? That there is a journey of healing within every hero's journey, particularly those of us in this collective, because we recognize and honor ourselves as healers. And we all have something that we are meant to share with the collective as well. So it's just this really interesting unraveling of energies. So this is like those unlikely situations that test us in certain ways, that test our integrity, that test our stamina, that test our dedication to our path, and show us these brand new views and these brand new ways of perceiving and understanding situations. And with this energy as well, and Uranus aspecting the Saturn-Venus conjunction, there's a lot of this energy of the shifting energies within the financial markets, within all of this different stuff. You know, a lot of people talk about the wealth transfer and all of this different stuff. There's a lot of stuff leading up to, we're about to have a major shift within those energies. I think probably before Uranus moves into Gemini, honestly, like I'm feeling it like maybe just before, like June, maybe. Could be next month, could be June. And a lot of people think that a lot of this wealth transfer or this shifting is going to happen within crypto as well. So for anyone who's curious about that, you might want to look more into that if that's sparking anything for you. But I'm feeling a real shift in the financial markets and energy with that. Kind of like it's one of the last energies of Uranus within the sign of Taurus. And then Uranus moves into Gemini, which is all about communication, social media, all of these different things. So I think we're going to see a lot of revolutionizing energies there, which makes sense with all the AI and all the different stuff that we have going on, right? So that's going to be its own entity and energy. I think Uranus and Gemini is going to be really exciting. And we'll do a separate video exploring more of the energies of that probably soon here, because that's coming right up, just like Saturn and Aries is coming right up as well. So we're going to explore those themes and energies too. And Saturn, of course, is all about the ways that we're growing up, the ways that we are taking on responsibility, the lessons that we're learning. So there's a lot of that. It really ties right in with that Neptune and Aries energy, this energy of being the responsible custodians of our reality. So yeah, we'll delve into that more in a different topic. But that energy, it's all coming up right now for some reason. So this could be a shift that's beginning around this new moon, but that's moving us through some of these transits that we're talking about here. Astro traveling, huh? Oh, astral traveling. Yep. Okay. Yep. Oh, wow, Amber, that's powerful. Congratulations. That's heavy. Congratulations for being able to do that. That's a beautiful gift. That's a beautiful gift for yourself, and perhaps a beautiful gift to be able to share with others as well. The strength required, you know, because we can heal, we can overcome anything, right? But it takes strength, it takes dedication, it takes perseverance, it takes a will. And that's part of the energy right now with this new moon and everything we've got going on. Our will is being strengthened. And it is being aligned with our higher self, with our higher will. Alessandro, I've had some weird effing dreams, man. I have. I love them, though. I love them. I keep a little journal of them, and sometimes I just read them and I crack up. Sometimes I read them to other people, like my friends. We just laugh about them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's a powerful journey, Amber. Thank you for sharing that, too, that you were able to overcome that. Yeah, and I don't know if the comments are going to show in the replay. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But she's talking about overcoming PTSD and horrible dreams. And I know that I'm not dishonoring, but like I'm not doing justice, the intensity and the power of that, and the healing that required. But that's beautiful, and it's inspirational. You know, it's inspirational when we share our stories on here. We show other people like that's possible, right? That you can have PTSD from. Were you in the army, Amber? Were you stationed over there in the army? Right? That you can suffer from addiction. You can suffer from PTSD. You can experience that, we should say, right? But you don't have to suffer from it, not permanently. Tornadoes have been in dreams lately. Interesting, Tess. And there's a lot of tornadoes going on. I heard there were tornadoes on the East Coast, like down New York way and further than that. And we're going to see that there's a lot of shifting of those energies as well. A lot of shifting of weather patterns as the poles are shifting and all of that. Clear. Let's get a little more information about this lesson that's been learned here. This lesson that needed to be learned. We talked about following your own intuition. I want to know if there's anything more here. Trusting yourself, trusting your own intuition. Recognizing what you had overlooked before. That's coming through as well. And this is something interesting, actually. So I'm reading this book right now, and it's talking about the benefits of meditation. And one of the things that it's talking about is the fact that when you meditate, it is scientifically proven that you are able to pick up on more cues in your environment, and you're able to recognize patterns more easily, and just your overall perception increases. So you're able to notice things that might otherwise go missed, whether it's in a conversation with another person, whether it's in information that you're reading, a situation that you are viewing. So there's something with that here with the hanged man, with the picking up on, it's like something that's been hidden in plain sight, that you've just been consistently overlooking, that suddenly becomes clear. For somebody, this is going to be your true feelings about somebody or about a situation. Yeah, we got Saturn truth coming out. That's funny. And Mars, force, but this is also like power. This is also conflict, right? So this is like the truth behind a conflict. So this might be like our part in a situation where we recognize the other person's part, but perhaps we were a little bit hesitant or unable to truly recognize our own part and take responsibility for that aspect of things. Perhaps it's that we take responsibility for too much, right? For stuff that doesn't belong to us, right? The inverse could be true as well. This is understanding the trauma and drama in our own lives, and understanding what within us attracts that energy, if that's something that we still experience in our world, in our reality. This is also the truth about what we're really passionate about, what really turns us on, what really lights us up. Oh, wow, you were a combat medic. That's intense. That's really intense. Yeah. Yeah, I could see how that would give somebody PTSD. Thank you for your service. Oh, thank you, Alessandro. All right. So the truth about what lights us up, we got Black Moon Lilith on the back of the deck here. And I love that we have these cards here because we have Mars and Black Moon Lilith as two angles of the Grand Cross going on with the new moon in Taurus. We've got Mars opposing Pluto. And then we have Black Moon Lilith opposing the sun and the moon. And we have Black Moon Lilith conjunct the Shapley attractor, while we have Pluto conjunct the fixed star Altair. And we also have the sun and the moon conjunct the fixed star Shadir. And I talk about all of that in the video that I'll be putting out tomorrow, the significance of all of that. But it's really powerful. So there's this energy of the truth. All right, so there's a few different messages coming through here. One of these is like, this is the truth that you've been ashamed to admit because maybe it felt inappropriate. Maybe your true desires or what you truly wanted or needed felt a little bit taboo for whatever reason. And it doesn't necessarily have to be because it's something really saucy, right? It could be something really salacious, or it could simply be just something that wasn't necessarily, didn't feel like it was allowed. And what I mean by allowed, this is like a childhood thing, right? Like you're not allowed to be too bright. You're not allowed to be too noticeable. You're not allowed to be too loud. You know, it's that whole like, you know, in the older days, like the older generations, they had that whole phrase like children are meant to be seen and not heard. And we could apply that to women as well, going back further, right? And really even probably around the same time period, to be quite honest, right? So it's like that. So maybe it's just like that kind of taboo. Or it's something like for some people here, it's like your family trained you to believe that you should not, you shouldn't have needs at all. Or you shouldn't have wants and desires, right? Like you are meant to put other people's needs above your own. And so it's that energy of like, so it could be any kind of taboo thing. It doesn't have to be something that's like truly naughty. But with Black Moon Lilith here, it definitely could be. All right. But it's naughty to you in whatever. It goes against the grain. It goes against sort of the status quo here. So it's like the truths of those things coming out. This is also truths when it comes to, I'm definitely feeling this energy for some people, and this could be collective too. So we might hear about this on a collective level, like with celebrities, people in the media, this energy of like affairs, things that were hidden under covers, things that were done in sort of back rooms. This could definitely be backroom deals and things like that as well. But I'm definitely feeling of this when it comes to like affairs, when it comes to this energy of just people in those types of situations. I definitely feel like Amber. I definitely feel energy like that coming through, where some of these dirty secrets, some of this dirty laundry is going to be aired. Some of this is going to come out. The truth behind that. And there definitely could be some hurt feelings here. And we know what happens with these hurt feelings, right? Like a lot of times this is expressed, especially with Mars and Black Moon Lilith here, with anger, right? With that need for revenge. And so we're going to be looking out for those types of energies. It could just be truths. I'm feeling this energy too of like truths that have been buried for quite some time coming to the surface and upsetting some people. Even if they weren't truths about anything that anybody necessarily did wrong. It's just something that was hidden for whatever reason. And for some, this could be even like secrets within the family line being revealed here. This is a really interesting energy. And Amber says maybe just some sexual liberation. Yeah, that's definitely possible as well. That's definitely possible. That's right in line with these energies as well. But yeah, a lot of stuff, juicy stuff coming to the surface here. Let's see. Yeah, the family stuff you've been feeling since the beginning of eclipse season, Amber says. Yeah. Like it even could be like weird stuff, like paternity stuff, where somebody thought like the true biology of parents wasn't revealed. Finances were hidden within the family. Relatives, definitely a mistress, that type of energy, you know what I mean? Like all of that kind of stuff, especially like in the olden days, so to speak, where they would have like buried that because it was a scandal for the family. This is like scandals coming to the surface, whatever those are. But this is also coming back to that energy of liberation here. This is owning our true passions and desires. This is not being afraid to express the truth of who we are, even if it's going to disturb some people, ruffle some feathers, piss some people off. You know what I mean? Let's see. I want to get... What do I want to do here? Yeah, we're going to keep going with this kind of like dark Lilith kind of theme because I'm into it. I do, Alessandro. Why? Why do you ask? Clear. Yeah, the elephant in the room, exactly, Amber. What else do we need to know about these secrets being revealed here, being unearthed? What else does Spirit want us to know about this energy? Oh, yeah, Ty, exactly. Yeah, that stuff went on a lot more than we realized. Like, you think just because having children out of wedlock was frowned upon heavily in the olden days, like it didn't happen. Come on now. Like, let's be realistic here. You know, it's just like the people who believe that Yeshua didn't have any brothers or sisters. You know what I mean? Like, really? Or children. I don't actually know the answer to this, but I mean, it's very likely he possibly had children too, right? Yeah, definitely rise of the feminine. We've got so much going on with the feminine energy right now. We had the High Priestess of Spirit wanting to pop out. We'll see what else comes out. Hello, D. D said they call us bastards for a reason. What do you mean? What do I think created baby boomers? What do you mean by that? I think some of the baby boomers were those first waves of volunteers that Dolores Cannon talks about. The indigos coming through to disrupt the status quo. Yeah, exactly. A lot of them became disillusioned, and a lot of that got swallowed up into these weird psychological traps, right? As they got older. These weird political traps, kind of warping their ideologies and stuff like that. That's just all part of being in the false matrix. But I think originally they came to bring that energy of liberation, to bring that different perspective, to bring that energy of rebellion, right? And to just begin seeding the light for the generations to follow, for the waves of starseeds to follow. Generation Z, Alessandro says. Generation Z, what is that? That's the one after millennials, right? I think. Before the one after millennials, before Generation Alpha, which is the most recent one that we're having right now, I think, right? Maybe you will, Amber. If you always thought that, I mean, maybe that was your intuition telling you, but it's all in the right timing, right? Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, yeah, so that's well, welcome, my beautiful Generation Z friend. Nice. Yeah, I got so confused about the generations. Like, apparently I'm a millennial. I guess what they call an elder millennial. But like, I thought that I was Generation X or Generation X. And then it turns out that I was a millennial. But to me, I thought millennials were like born in the 90s. So I was pushing millennials to, I guess, what Generation Z is. All in my head, it was all twisted around. Yeah. Oh, you are too. Aw, that's beautiful. That's awesome. I love that. I love that. A lot of the we don't get a lot of Generation Zs on this channel. So we appreciate that energy here too. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, all the musicians, everybody that I listened to, Erwin, was Generation X. So I think that's why I thought that I was, because I related more to them. Obviously, they were a little bit older than I was. So I was upset when I was told that I was. I think it's a lot of the elder millennials are kind of like weirded out by the title of millennial, because we feel like millennial indicates like the internet age and all this stuff that we didn't really grow up with. You know what I mean? It was like we were in the transitional phase, transitioning into that energy. But the beginning of our childhood didn't involve any of that, right? It wasn't until the later. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. Astrology does the generations differently. Astrology does the generations by the Pluto sign, which I think is interesting. So my generation would be the Pluto and Scorpio generation. And I forget the exact years. It's probably similar to like that 80 through 94. It's probably similar to that. I'm in the early degrees of Pluto, so Pluto probably entered Scorpio in the very early 80s. And that was actually, but some of the generations would go longer, right? Because Pluto typically spends 19 to 20 years in a sign. Pluto only spent, I think it was like 10 years in the sign of Scorpio, probably because they were just, the planet couldn't handle too many of us with the Pluto and Scorpio. It didn't need too much intensity, just the right amount. You know what I mean? So that was one of the shorter transits. Yeah, exactly. Me either, Amber. I bought myself my first cell phone when I turned 18. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't remember the 80s because I was really young. I remember like the mid 90s is when my real memories really start. You know what I mean? Other than that, it's like the patchy little memories that you have of like being under the age of 10. Where it's like you remember little things here or there, but not a whole lot of stuff. Just little scene. I mean, that's most of my life, honestly, though. It's just little patches. It's kind of like my entire life's a blackout where I'm only remembering certain bits and pieces. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 82 is really riding that line, right? Because you're like just barely. It's like the cusp. Yeah. Nice, Tess. I hear the 80s were pretty cool. I always wished that I had been like in my 20s, my teens or 20s during like the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, because I think that was the coolest time period in our history, honestly. Like I would have been such a hippie. You know what I mean? Like I spent most of my younger years hanging out with like the hippie version of like the 90s and early 2000s kids, you know what I mean? But it wasn't the same, right? It was like we were trying, it's kind of like if you think about like when they did Woodstock again in the 90s, I think it was like 1999 they tried to have another Woodstock. Did any of you guys remember that? And do you remember what happened? Did you ever see they did like a Netflix special on it because it went so bad? It was like, I don't know why I was reminded of like Dave Chappelle, right? When keeping it real goes wrong. Like that's kind of like what Woodstock was like when we tried to have it again, was just a complete fucking shit show. And it's just because the energy's changed so much. You know, so that was kind of like what it was like, just being a hippie kind of person in the 90s to early 2000s, you know what I mean? It's kind of like you wanted to encapsulate that vibe, but there was just a darker, raunchier energy. It's kind of like the innocence had been sort of drained out of it, you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes any sense to anyone. But it was more like dark and grungy with like kind of like a shady sort of energy to it, as opposed to that, at least like the drug scene and that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? As opposed to that, like truly like free love and self-discovery, like let's discover each other in the universe together. You know what I mean? It was more just, I don't know. You could tell. I think that's a really good example of the way that the energy changed. So I would have really have loved to have been alive back when like that idealism was still fresh and alive. You know what I mean? Oh, does anybody know? Vivek's asking what's the years? I think somebody said Vivek. I think the millennial. It was like 84. Was that what it was? 80 or 1980 to 1994, I think somebody said something like that. Friends from the 90s TV series. I actually, on the new moon video, I was talking about Friends. It's more of a grunge Woodstock. Yeah, I mean, they were like setting everything on fire and rioting. Erwin, I don't think it's copyright infringement, but if it is, they can let me know and I'll change the name. You seem very upset by it. Like very upset. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. The Love Parade in Germany was awesome, Michael says. I love that. You're talking in all caps. It sounds very dramatic. Are you having a dramatic reaction to the name of this channel? If you are, that's interesting. I wonder what that's about. What do you think that's about? Okay. That's what this new moon's about, though. Noticing our triggers. Noticing that intensity of emotion that flares up. You know what I mean? Sarah, yeah, I can actually, honestly. I feel like we've kind of fleshed out these energies. So if you want to, if you want, we can do a couple. We can do a couple readings, and if you want to send through a donation. Let's see. Well, we're sending you lots of love, Erwin. We're glad that you're here. Generation Z. Oh no, that would be Generation Z. Wouldn't that be the millennial? Wait, no, Generation Y. Wait, now I'm getting confused again. No, X, millennial. Millennial's weird. I guess it's because it was a new millennium. But they kind of it's like it was letters and then all of a sudden it switched to millennial and then it switched back to letters again and then it turns to alpha. It's just, I don't know who's naming the generations, but it seems really bizarre. Using the Pluto signs, I like that a lot better because it gives like more of a continuity and it also gives more of a vibe and an energy. Like how we're here, each generation is here to transform the world. You know what I mean? 1111. Send through 1111. I'll pull a couple cards for you, Sarah. Are you talking about me, Amber? Always mildly tired. Different levels. Yes, they call it motherhood. They ran out of letters after Z. I guess that's true, but did they really have like a generation A, B, C, D? Okay. You had an interview in February and you still haven't received a call back? Is that normal? I guess it's the state. So let's pull a couple cards on that. What is the state of this? Well, it's just tapping in for Sarah Marie here, Spirit. Let's pull a couple cards here. We want to know about this job. Clear. This job that she had an interview for back in February. Give us some cards. Give us some guidance on this for her. What does she need to know? Are you still looking at other jobs? Are you still putting your application in different places? We have justice coming out here. All right. I support everyone in their own free expression and their right to be how they are without infringing upon anybody else. All right, there we go. Okay, let me know if everyone can see me here. All right, it's skipping. Can you hear me now, Sarah? Somebody tried to call me, so I think that screwed it up. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm definitely feeling this energy of making sure that you're not, like, I was definitely getting the vibe of not putting all your eggs in that basket, Sarah. We've got justice and we've got the 9 of Swords here. So that's not giving me the best energy. That's giving me energy of perhaps a situation that seems unfair. Somebody who's feeling like they're being treated unfairly. This could be your energy that I'm picking up on. If you're just generally feeling like kind of cheated in some sense, you know what I mean? Let me see what else Spirit wants to say about this. Okay, interesting. Yeah, we got the Devil here. Fascinating energy with the 10 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. So this is fascinating. All right, what is the Devil here? I definitely feel like there's a lot of heavy energy here. So there's definitely an energy of like, if you do receive a call back from this job, there's going to be a lot of you needing to manage your energy well in order to be in that environment. And in order for you to not get, it feels like, bogged down by that energy. But there is a 10 of Cups. Tell me why the 10 of Cups is on the bottom of the deck, Spirit. Why is the 10 of Cups on the bottom of the deck? Are you like waiting on like background check and things like that? I'm not sure. Do you guys, can I get a... Well, we got the Fool. So there's like a fresh start kind of thing. Hi, Sophie. Welcome. Let's see if we can get any time frame for a call back here. Actually, yeah. Do we have any time frame going on here? Clear. Any time frame for this, for hearing back about this job? I'm feeling soon. It definitely feels soon to me. I feel a situation will improve. I feel like it has to do with the background check. Something with the amount of time the background check's taking to come through. But like I said, I feel like there's a lot of intensity within that job, within that environment. But there is some kind of like fresh start energy there. And I think that anytime that we can bring energy into a place like that, it can be really uplifting for the people who are there. I've wanted to start like a volunteer Reiki program in the prison system for a really long time. It's just one of those things that I haven't gotten around to implementing and gathering people for. So like there could be some sort of calling, something, some reason that you're being called there to bring some light in some type of way. And we had improving health with yes come out here, which was an interesting answer to the timing question. What did you say? He had some time in the summer. Yeah. I heard 3. So I don't know if that's 3 weeks. I don't know if that's 3 months. 3 months seems like a really long time for a job. You know what I mean? But I also definitely got this feeling of like, keep looking, keep exploring other options. Because in the meantime, that like you may also find another option or another opportunity. Let's see if we can get, and then perfect timing on the bottom of the deck. So I think that whatever amount of time it takes is going to be the exact, it's taking the amount of time it takes for a reason. Whether it's because that amount of time is going to allow for you to really know what you want, whether that amount of time is going to allow for other certain things to occur, for you to get to the place vibrationally that you need to be, even because you want to be in a really strong vibrational state to be working and be constantly within those types of energies. Oh, thank you, Sophie. All right. Let's see if there's anything else. Anything, can we go any deeper on the timing here? Clear. Let's see. Any deeper on the timing here? I don't know. I feel like you might get a better offer in the meantime if you keep putting your hat in the ring places. So let's see, anything else here? Got the Death card coming out. New start, ending. Eight of Cups in reverse, that limbo energy. Yeah, so what I'm getting in the meantime is this energy of like, continue working on your own energies of worthiness, like knowing that you are worthy of any job that you apply for, knowing that you are deserving of any job that you apply for, really like knowing your strengths and playing to those strengths. And like I said, continuing to explore options, because I feel like there are more options and maybe better options for you out there that you haven't considered yet. And this time in between might be giving you some opportunity to do that. There we go. Hopefully that was helpful. And we shall see more of what gets revealed there. And I think, Amber, did you have a question as well? Clear. Yeah, I just keep getting this energy of like, the energy is stalled right now because it's giving you an opportunity to really look at what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, and like what is actually going to get you closer to that goal. Is this really going to bring you closer to that? Is this really in alignment with things that you want? Or like, what are your intentions and motivations for pursuing that job? And there's just more clarity that's going to be found in the process of waiting. But again, I was definitely feeling that energy of 3, whether that's 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 days. I'm not really sure. Probably longer than 3 days, I feel like. But yeah. Keep us posted. All right. Amber says she just wants to know what is going to come up. All right. Let's see. What are we going to do for Amber? Clear. There are like so many decks calling for you, Amber. And I have a feeling that whatever comes through for Amber is going to be applicable for more people. So just realize there are no accidents when we do these readings. Clear. All right, let's get some guidance for Amber here. Working with the Elemental Empath Oracle. Messages for Amber. All right, we have expression coming out. This is about finding your voice, releasing emotions, communicating. So if there is something that you need to speak, if there is something that you need to share, this is the time. This energy might embolden you to do so. You may already be feeling this push to share something or to release something. I definitely feels like there's, and I can relate to this, trust me, like blocked energy within the heart and perhaps within the throat as well. And so it's all about finding a way to release that, finding a way to express whatever is desiring to be expressed. I also feel like there's something artistic, something creative that wants to be born from you, it wants to be given life. This is reminding me of one of the cards in the Sacred Rebels deck. So it's this energy of like something that wants to be brought into form through you. And it may have to do with using your voice. It has to do with some way, some type of communication possibly. Maybe this is like a song or a piece of art or something that helps to express your emotion. Like this could be two-pronged, right? Where you create something that also serves as an outlet to release the emotions or whatever it is that you need to release or express. Interesting. What's going on with your neck? Is it like a spinal thing that you have going on? What do you mean? What do you mean when you say you almost got your neck fused? It definitely could. It's definitely strong throat chakra energy coming out here. Okay. If you have the means to do so, an aura hypnosis healing session would probably be really helpful for you. Email me if that sounds like something that you're interested in. It's a quantum healing session. It involves past life regression. It also involves entity removal. It's a really, really powerful session. Because it seems like there's multiple levels of healing surrounding that on multiple levels of being. Then what else do we have? We have desire coming out here. This is all about aligning with your heart and allowing your heart to guide you. I want to read from the guidebook here. And then we have choice on the bottom of the deck, and this is the moon energy. I want to read expression to you, though. Let's see if I can find it. This is fire energy. These are both fire, so working with the fire element as well. Working with your own fire. There are certain breathing practices that can help ignite the fire within you. I'm feeling like you might want to look some of those up to get that fire lit, to start moving that fire within you. All right. Let's see here. And it says, we are all taught to bottle it all up. Don't let emotion show. Don't be dramatic. Well, this is your permission to let it out and have some catharsis. Your emotions are completely valid, and so is your expression. Whether the emotion is yours or someone's around you that you've absorbed, if it is repressed and bottled up, it needs a way out. Otherwise, it will leak out in unhealthy ways when you aren't expecting it. There are many ways to express how we feel. Screaming into a pillow is always a good standby. You can let the feelings flow by writing, dancing, yelling, or punching pillows. They mentioned pillows twice, so this must be the author of this this book must find that to be particularly cathartic. I'm also feeling rest though with the pillows for some reason. Like if you aren't getting enough rest, this is also a call to really take care of your body, to communicate, to express what you need to express, to move the energy through your body the way it wants to move, but also to make self-care a priority right now. This is also, what else does it say? You can also sit quietly with it and breathe through the layers, holding each emotion as it arises. What approach feels right to you? This card also asks you how comfortable you are holding your anger. As women, our emotions, especially our anger, have been suppressed for thousands of years. Here's that Black Moon Lilith energy right here. It can be daunting to finally allow it to have space. Remember that you are allowed to feel anger. It is a sacred purging that runs through your system, enabling you to access many other emotions that sit beneath it. Oh, this was in the new moon video. This is so powerful. Embodying anger can inspire you to act, to create change in the world, and tap into your true feelings about a situation without gaslighting yourself. You don't need to explode at others. You can let your anger out in healthy ways and allow it to process. Grounded anger is a powerful tool when we let it be. It is a calm, controlled, and sure of itself without losing control. This may be a time to burn away what is no longer serving you. Ask yourself what is ready to go. Don't force what isn't ready. Instead, embody what is and let it out. Ooh, that's powerful. I'm going to read that again. Don't force what isn't ready. Instead, embody what is and let it out. Let the waves of emotion flow. Get angry, get happy, sad, afraid, whatever needs to arise. This card may also indicate that you need to communicate with someone to resolve things. Often we need to vocalize our feelings in order to find closure, or maybe there are some boundaries you need to put in place. Misunderstanding builds in silence, so now might be a good time to reach out to someone to get their side of events and also communicate yours. Although I will add that we want to be careful with this current alignment that we have, because people are going to be on edge. So we want to choose the right time and really read the energy of the room. But this is a good time to have that courage. All right. When we don't communicate, it's so easy for misunderstandings to spiral and for hurt to grow. There are always two sides to a story, so don't get stuck in yours. You might not have the full story. And this is so interesting because this is something that came through in the book that I was reading earlier today about meditation as well. And it had to do with the fact that, like, when we're having a conversation with somebody, they might say something that triggers us, or that brings up something in us, or that like triggers even just like a random thought. And we get engaged with that thought or trying to figure something out. And then in that process, we lose half the conversation because we're not really listening anymore. And in that space, so much more is lost than what we realize. And this is how a lot of times, like, we're having the same conversation with someone, but we haven't been present for the whole thing. So we miss a lot, just like they miss a lot. So it's honestly sometimes like we're having two separate conversations. I think that's why in therapy, like, they teach you how to, when you're talking to someone, they teach you how to repeat back to them what you thought they said and to say, so what I thought I heard you say was, and then it helps people to be like, no, that's not what I meant. Or no, that kind of got lost in translation, and to continue to clarify. So it sounds like there might also be a situation that's requiring some clarification here that was just like a misunderstanding. Is this, I mean, you asked for reading the Spirit's giving it to you. Vivek, this is my channel. Annika is assisting in the chat. Yeah. Let's see. And so to continue on this vein, we have, even when you communicate, try not to assign blame. Express your side by explaining how you feel and how you perceived the event instead of telling the person what they did wrong. If possible, give them a chance to explain as well and see if you can find a middle ground to work things out. Communication can bring things into focus. Some people will be willing to talk and some won't. Once again, here we go. Know your audience, and I'll add read the room. Do your best to communicate well, and if they aren't willing to listen or compromise, you know you have done your part and the rest is on them. Accept any blame you might be responsible for and forget the rest. Accept any blame that you might be responsible for, but at the same time, don't shame yourself. I'm going to add that too. I think all of this is so important for all of us right now. Have clear boundaries and stay in your power. Right? Yeah, there's a lot of yeah. A lot of distractions always in life, right? Let's see. And then there's an additional guidance to allow yourself to be vulnerable, especially in connections with people that you know are safe or you feel are safe. So in that authentic sense of vulnerability, right? Where we're not employing it to get somebody to do something, to get somebody to see things our way, right? We're not manipulating with it. And we're not allowing ourselves to be vulnerable with people that we know aren't safe or have proved to not be safe. And by safe, I mean somebody who honors and respects us equally, right? But with those people, allowing yourself to be a little bit more vulnerable, there may be an opportunity for that coming through. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. And then this is all about the energy of the layers coming back up. And I think a lot of us can probably relate to this right now as well, too, right? It's like old emotions and old traumas that we thought we had cleared coming back to the surface for another level of healing. And this offers an interesting point. It says, if the same thing keeps coming up, ask yourself, is this just a shadow of something old trying to distract me? Or is it a deeper layer to something I've been working through that needs to be held and addressed? So I never really thought of it as a shadow of something trying to distract us, right? So that could be like our ego's own self-preservation method of like, I'm going to try to get you to go into this old cycle that you've already cleared. And it kind of like is like the red herring, or I don't know if that's the right use of that word, but you know what I mean? Like the thing to distract you from the thing that really wants to be healed right now. That is a threat to me, right? The next level that you're getting ready to reach. So each of us has to use that discernment. Like, is this really, am I really, because that's the thing too, I think, is if it's something that's just a distraction, like a distraction tactic of the ego, and this is a period of dissolution of the ego, right? So this is absolutely going to happen. Like if we acknowledge it and then we just say, no, I've already healed that. I'm not falling into that trap again. And we dismiss it, it'll go away. If it doesn't go away, then there is still something to be looked at and healed. That's how I would say to be able to tell the difference between those two things. All right. And what else here? So this is all about emotional readiness, emotional maturity, learning how to work with your emotions as a deeper level. I feel like there's a deeper layer or level of your emotions that's able to be accessed now because of the healing that you have done. And this is the guidance that you are in a place where you are strong enough to begin to release and work through some of those. And like I said, I think the aura could be really helpful if that's something that you're open to. So get a hold of me if that's ringing true for you, if that's resonating for you. All right, perfect. I'm glad to hear that resonated. I do need to get ready to wrap this up for today because I have an interview this evening with Nadia Shaw. I'm very excited for the class that I'm going to be teaching for Synchronicity University on the deep space objects, the Great Attractor, the Shapley Attractor, all of those beautiful points. So I'm going to hang out with my kid for a little bit, have some dinner, get myself prepared for that. I will, of course, share that with all of you after she airs it. And I will share, as I said before, the link in the chat after this live stream's finished for anybody who wants to sign up for the class. It is $5 a class up until the 30th or whatever the last day of this month is. I'm not sure if there's 30 or 31 days in this month. But up until the end of April, it's as low as $5 a class. Choose your own tuition rate. I do believe even after April, I think you can still sign up, but I think it is more expensive. There's, I think, 3 other people who are teaching classes in the May speaker series. I know one of the other classes is on retrograde planets. I'm not sure what all the other ones are, but there's always just amazing astrologers teaching and discussing amazing concepts on there. So I'm sure that everybody in the speaker series that I'm unaware of has amazing topics and is going to teach amazing classes as well. And there are replays of all of those available if you don't make all the classes in May. All right. Yes, thank you so much. You guys are all beautiful. I appreciate you deeply. And yes, that's right. We are all, sometimes we need to focus. I can't be, just so everybody knows, if I'm tapping into somebody's energy and reading for them, or even doing a collective reading, I can't just be constantly reading the chat and answering questions in the chat, because when I do that, like, I'm not able to remain connected to whatever the energy is that I'm reading. All right. I'm a multitasker by nature, but there's a level of multitasking that just doesn't really work. And that's where we're approaching that energy. All right. So, yeah, if there were certain questions asked, I wasn't able to be reading all of those in the chat. That's part of why I have beautiful Annika here to assist me. Let's see. Work on yourself. If you're trying to attract a partner, become the person that you're wishing to attract, and you won't have to worry about where to meet them. They'll find you. That's the trick. You know, I used to love, so this is kind of a random, when I was younger, I used to love Chuck Palahniuk. I don't know if anyone's ever read him. He writes some really, really bizarre, kind of deranged books, but they're awesome. He did write Fight Club, which was turned into a movie. There was another book of his called Choke that was turned into a movie. And there might have been one more, but he's a really, really fascinating character. And he writes some wild books. So like for fiction books, I definitely enjoyed reading him. And I read mostly nonfiction these days. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, so I used to I've read all the Harry Potter books many, many times. I kind of fell away from reading so much. I have a Benable profile on here. You can see it in the description box where I link some books that I recommend. So there's a few books that I've read recently, like within like the last 5 or 6 years, 8 years maybe, that I really enjoyed. The Alchemist is on there. There's one whose name always escapes me for some reason that's on the Benable list. That's a really amazing book that I think everybody should read. It's so cool. And then there's some spiritual books and some different stuff on there. The Law of One was a really interesting book to read. I'm reading The Gene Keys right now, which is its own healing system as well. And I highly recommend that. To tap into that and begin learning more about your own personal genetics and ancestry in that regard. So there, to answer that question about the books, there's the bit of an answer there. All right. I love you all. I appreciate you deeply. What do you mean, what do I do, Gareth? Is that question for me? Is that question for somebody else? Oh, Jurassic Park book. I read Jurassic Park, and I actually read the second one, the sequel, I thought was even better. And that was a great book. I think it was the second book was my favorite. Was it The Lost World, I think maybe? I was actually amazed at how good those books were. I totally forgot that I even read those. I used to read all the time when I was younger, and then for some reason, I don't know why I got away from it. And I'm getting back into it now, and it feels really good. But I don't really read so much nonfiction because there's so many books on astrology and books on manifestation and reality creation and different things like that. And then things like the Gene Keys. So there's so much other stuff that I'm reading today. But yeah, check out the Beneful profile if anyone's curious. There's a few books on there that I recommend. All right. And just to answer your question before I go, Gareth, I help people remember who they are. I help people free themselves from the 3D false slave matrix The first element to that is remembering who you are, stepping back into your sovereignty, and then mastering your energy, mastering your mindset so that you can become the architect of your reality. Why don't you? My recommendation would be for you to sit quietly after this live stream. Just breathe and ask yourself that question. What I don't do is entertain energies where people are just asking redundant questions for the sake of asking redundant questions. That's who I am not. I'll say that. I'm here for people who are really ready to grow and evolve and remember the beauty and the power of who they are. If that's you, then you will probably enjoy this channel. If that's not you, I think you can figure that out for yourself, Simon. The book advice, check out the Bendable profile. Yeah. All right. Now we're just getting ridiculous on here. We've got a bunch of trolls hopping on. So we're going to end this live stream. What's your redundant question, D? Yeah, exactly. Welcome, Foxy. Anybody who's not a troll, who's coming on here and genuinely would like to expand their consciousness, genuinely wants to know what's going on energetically right now, genuinely wants to hear any guidance that Spirit might have for them within this live stream, then go ahead and restart it and watch it from the beginning. And if you're resonating with the energy here, then subscribe. We go live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. unless otherwise noted in the community tab. I think that's sweet, stupid man. I think that's sweet. It's okay. I'm embracing the fact that I'm moving into that age bracket now. That's fine. What do I think is the Earth's shape? Honestly, I try not to worry about it. I think there is some credence to this energy of the Earth being flat in some respects. I think the Earth has a dome over it if it is flat. So in a sense, it is still circular, but I think it's all perception. You know what I mean? It just depends on how we're perceiving the universe. I don't think anything is really flat or round, honestly. I think it's those are just concepts based on how we understand time and space. Everything exists within everything else, right? We live in a holographic universe. So I don't really. Yeah, I think the question that we're asking is a very human question, and the answer lies beyond what we can conceptualize or understand. I think it's both and neither is the answer to that. Yeah. You're my favorite elf, D. A redundant question is like a sarcastic question that's just meant to be an asshole. That somebody says basically just because they want to be an ass. That's what I meant by a redundant question. Somebody who's being rude and isn't asking a genuine question. That's what I meant by that, just for clarification. Somebody who's just trying to cause trouble because they desire attention. So we can send them love for that, but at the same time, I don't really have patience for that energy. I can love you unconditionally and still tell you that you're being an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. We don't have to be all sugar and spice on here. You know what I mean? In life in general. We can be honest, you know. I understand that some people feel like that's what they need to do with their time. I get it. I have compassion for that in one sense, but in the other sense, I have compassion for it, but I don't have patience for it. Not in my own channel, not in my own space. So that's the full answer to that question, Simon, of what I meant by that. But no, I think the question about the earth is an interesting one. I think that's one that's debated by a lot of people, and there's a reason for it. But like I said, I think we're approaching all of these concepts from a very limited framework. Ooh, I like that, Ty. Ty says, I like that the earth, or I think the earth is like an electromagnetic torus energy flow, kind of like our bodies. Absolutely, because the earth is a being as well, right? So for anyone who doesn't know what the torus is, the torus or the toroidal sphere is an energy. It's a way that our energy system moves. It's essentially energy that moves out of the heart space up through the crown, and then it circles back around in a giant sphere and comes back through the root. And so it's just constantly cycling and moving in this beautiful energy. You can look up toroidal sphere or torus. It's really cool. So I like that. I like that energy a lot, Ty. That's pretty cool. Really good job bringing that up. Hello, Solomon. Great to see you, brother. We're just finishing the live stream, but I love you, and I'm glad to see you. I'm glad that you popped in for the end. I've been enjoying you on TikTok. Yeah. Yeah, so some of you guys look up the torus. Look up the toroidal sphere. Working with your own personal toroidal sphere can be really powerful. It's a really powerful practice. You can charge it in the sun. Imagine drawing the sun in and moving it through your body, through your energy system, through your own toroidal sphere. That can be a really powerful way to charge up your energy field. Yeah, the toroidal sphere, it contains everything, right? All of the wisdom, all of the knowledge, all the experience from all of our lifetimes. Clear. All right. I am going to sign off now. I love you so much. I appreciate you all so much. And like I said, I'll throw the links for the class and everything in the description box below. So if you are interested in that, then go ahead and check it out. And I'll see you all back here, I believe, next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If any time it changes from that date, I always post in the community tab and let you guys know. But as far as I know, we're on for next Wednesday. All right. Love you all infinitely. And once again, to everyone who is new, appreciate you so much. Glad that you're here with us. I love that, Ty. You know what's up. Ty's right on top of it. Breathing in that pattern. That's beautiful. I love that. All right. Bye, guys.